everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Daily Scuba News. So we all know that coral reef systems around the world are dying. There's no denying that.
Yes.
And there are a ton of researchers working around the clock to try and save as many reef systems as possible, either by introducing new warm water corals to areas, by cooling down waters somehow around corals, to even removing the coral to new areas for safety, because they have a very, very thin temperature.
It's madness. As I said, when the first set of bleaching happened, I always remember they literally put fans in the water around the Great Barrier Reef to try and churn it up and trying to cool it down. Anyway, researchers from the University of Delaware, that's right, Delaware guys! Delaware! Anyway, they've come up with some hope, which is good. And hopefully, it could work right now. So it's not like, in 10 years' time, this would finally attach to something. It's something that could work now. So the team have been working on 3D printing coral reef and testing it with fish to see which one, if they would actually take to it. And at the start of October, they finally got some positive results. So they printed up some coral, then embedded it with natural coral to see if the fish would reject it or, would go, oh, what's this? Blah, 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 blah. And guess what? Nothing happened. But this is actually great news.
Yes, so it actually is. So it means that the fish didn't realise what was manufactured or natural coral, which is kind of the whole point of the experiment. They want it to integrate seamlessly. But what are these printed corals made from? Hopefully not plastic.
Plastic! No, they're not.
They're actually made from biodegradable cornstarch filaments. Woo! So no plastic was injected into the new coral, which is great. It's just using old cornstarch. I presume they've done something to it, because I imagine as soon as you put that in seawater, it just dissolves.
Yeah, so I think what it is, it's probably I don't know, plastic.
Science.
Super glue. Yeah, heat it to a temperature where it doesn't. I mean, it biodegrades, which is cool. But that doesn't mean it needs replacing. But then that means things can grow on it. People, maybe the fish can nibble on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they like cornstarch.
Maybe they could break down the old calcium of dead coral and rebuild it into
I said
new
that,
stuff.
Jake. I said that when I was writing that script. Anyway, the team are now analysing the data from Fiji.
Nice. Better than Delaware.
Yeah. Delaware, Fiji. Who knows? Anyway, where these 3D, Fiji, where these 3D printed coral have been planted in a small area on the reef to see what real-world impact it has. And if it pays off, you can be sure that they'll be printing coral, all over the world to help create and take the pressure off natural coral, all around the world. So yeah, watch this space. Yeah. Basically.
Do you know if it had little gaps for polyps to sort of form inside?
As far as I'm aware, literally. So they did. They actually used iPhones, which they should have used the Pixel, greatest phone ever, and they 3D scanned living coral, and then they literally just duplicated that. So if there was holes for polyps, or whatever, it would have it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's about it for this story. If we actually get any updates, we of course will let you know. It is actually great to hear something positive when it comes to sort of reef systems.
Yeah.
A lot of it is very negative news out there. But what do you guys think? Will 3D printed coral work, or is it too little, too late? It's nice that people are trying to do something.
Yeah. Well, we've said this many a times before. I think the places where the coral is well and truly dying are the tourist traps. It is the Great Barrier Reef. There are places all over the world, because the ocean's it's pretty big. It's pretty big, where new coral has been discovered. That is actually helping towards the ecosystem. So yeah, it's not the be-all or end-all, but yeah, we just need to, whatever has been exposed to tourism and is our main thing, that's where we need to, put a bit of TLC behind it.
I just feel bad for the parrotfish. They're going to swim along and go to eat this coral, expecting a tasty meal, and they're going to go, cornstarch.
Well, they might love cornstarch. Don't assume that they don't like cornstarch. Maybe they put some flavours in there, like refresher flavour, Haribo.
Anyway, let's talk 3D printing coral in the comments if that's going to help. If you enjoyed this video, then of course give it a thumbs up, smash on that little bell icon, and if you haven't already, then why not subscribe to our channel? Yeah. Everyone else is doing it. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.
I heard in the playground that if you're not subscribed to the Simply Scuba channel, you're not cool.
Ooh.
You want to be a cool diver, guys? Subscribe.
the Department of Conservation, and 2 companies, Shark Dive New Zealand and Shark Experience. So both companies work in an area which great white sharks are known to congregate. They both offer the opportunity for people to get close to these amazing creatures, but safely in a cage.
Both companies